Hi, I'm Margaret Coffey, Director of Sales for schools, libraries, and independent bookstores at Sourcebooks. Greetings from Chicago. I'm thrilled to tell you about our new novels for teens. We hope that you will follow us on social media, and we encourage you to download our titles on Edelweiss and NetGalley. Please visit our website for discussion guides and to sign up for one of our newsletters. Many of our authors would be happy to virtually visit your library or school. Just let us know if you'd like to set up an event. I hope you've had a chance to read some of my recent favorite middle grades. And now I'm delighted to tell you about our new middle grade books for grades 5 to 8. For those of you who know me, you may remember that I could not stop talking about the Radium girls. Sourcebooks published the New York Times bestselling adult book in 2017. Kate Moore has now written a version for younger readers. As World War I raged across the globe, hundreds of young women toiled away at the radium dial factories in Illinois and New Jersey, where they painted clock faces with a mysterious new substance called radium. Assured by their bosses that the luminous material was safe, the women themselves shone brightly in the dark, covered from head to toe with the glowing dust. With such a coveted job, these shining girls were considered the luckiest alive until they began to fall mysteriously ill. As the fatal poison of the radium took hold, they found themselves embroiled in one of America's biggest scandals and a groundbreaking battle for workers' rights. Lindsay Currie, author of the award-winning The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street, joined Sourcebooks with her new novel, Scritch. Claire has absolutely no interest in the paranormal. She's a scientist, which is why she can't think of anything worse than having to help out her dad on one of his ghost-themed Chicago bus tours. At the end of the tour, she sees a boy with a sad face and dark eyes at the back of the bus. Claire tries to brush it off. She must be imagining things, letting her dad's ghost stories get the best of her. But then the scratching starts. Voices whisper to her in the dark. The number 396 appears everywhere she turns, and the boy with the dark eyes starts following her. Claire is being haunted. The boy from the bus wants something. From award-winning author Julie Berry comes Wishes and Wellingtons, a middle-grade fantasy adventure full of humor, heart, and magic. Maeve Merritt detests the rigid rules at her London boarding school for upright young ladies. It might as well be uptight young ladies. When punishment forces her to sort through the trash, she finds a sardine tin that houses a foul-tempered genie who has no intention of submitting to a schoolgirl as his master. Soon an orphan boy, a mysterious man in ginger whiskers, a disgruntled school worker, and a take-no-prisoners business tycoon are in hot pursuit of Maeve and her magical discovery. It'll take all of her quick thinking and sass to set matters right. Maeve Merritt is one feisty heroine you won't soon forget. In the tradition of Natalie Lloyd and Ingrid Law comes a whimsical debut about a girl, her family's dream shop, and a nightmare thief determined to change the course of her life as she knows it. In Nightmare Thief, Marin Partridge loves working in her family's dream shop where she can handcraft any dream imaginable. The shop has only one rule. Dreams cannot be given to a person without their consent. Marin has no problems with this until her sister Hallie has an accident that leaves her in a coma. When no one is watching, she slips her a dream. But a strange new customer from the shop has been following Marin and knows what she did. Now she's laid the perfect trap to blackmail Marin into creating custom nightmares for a dark and terrible purpose. Unleashed is the conclusion to the Jinx duology. Coding star Lacey and her friends attempt a rescue mission deep in the heart of an evil corporation to unravel a sinister plot. Lacey must use all her skills as she has a chance of stopping Mancha from carrying out their plans. This strong STEM-based book is a perfect middle grade for readers who are passionate about technology and coding. And now I'd like to mention a few young adult titles from our fire list. And here are some wonderful titles from the past few months. From Marika Nijkamp, the #1 New York Times bestselling author of This Is Where It Ends, comes Even If We Break, a heart-stopping new thriller told from 5 points of view by teens of different gender, sexuality, and social status. 5 friends go to a cabin. 4 of them are hiding secrets. 3 years of history bind them. 2 are doomed from the start. 1 person wants to end this. No one is safe. Are you ready to play? DJ Corchin deftly captures all the band humor and inside jokes in the Band Nerd series. Come join the wild antics of those lovable band nerds like the egotistical trumpet player, bad boy percussionist, flirty yet stuck-up flute, overzealous oboe, and many more. Explore the hilarious world of band geeks, music dweebs, and well, you get the picture. But be careful, you might just fall in love with them. Whether you've been in a band, saw a band, or can spell the word band, you'll love these instant classics. Zoraida Cordova's Wayward Witch completes the popular Brooklyn Brujas trilogy. Youngest Bruja, Rose, has always been a fixer, but lately she's been feeling lost. She has powers she doesn't understand, and her family is still trying to figure out how to function in the wake of her amnesiac father's return home. Then on the night of her death day party, Rose discovers her father's memory has been a lie. As she rushes to his side, the two are ambushed and pulled through a portal to the land of Addis. Rose is tasked with saving this magical land and forced to work with a group of other powerful teens to do so. Lightbringer is the epic final installment in the New York Times best-selling Imperium trilogy from Claire Legrand. Queen Raelle, pushed away from everything she loves, turns to the evil Corian and his promises of glory. In the future, Ileana arrives in the Empire's capital as a broken shell of herself, betrayed by those she trusted. She fights to keep her power at bay and away from Corian, who will stop at nothing to travel back in time to Riel, even if that means destroying her daughter. Project Runway goes to Comic-Con in an epic queer love story from the author of Reverie about creativity, passion, and finding the courage to be your most authentic self. Ryan LaSala, author of last year's Reverie, is back with the story of Rafi, who has a passion for bedazzling. Not just bedazzling, but sewing, stitching, draping, pattern making for creation. He's always chosen his art over everything and everyone else, and is determined to make his mark at this year's biggest cosplay competition. If he can wow there, it could lead to sponsorship, then art school, and finally earning real respect for his work. There's only one small problem. Rafi's ex-boyfriend Luca is his main competition. Luca's insecurities and Rafi's insistence on crafting perfection caused their relationship to crash and burn. Now Rafi is after the perfect comeback, one that Luca can't ruin. Obsession is the classic story of boy meets girl, boy stalks girl, girl gets her revenge. Nobody knows Delilah like Logan does, and Logan knows this for a fact because he spends all of his free time looking through her social media profiles and watching her every move. Some might call him a stalker. Logan prefers to be called a romantic. They're meant to be together. He just needs to wait for the perfect moment to sweep her off her feet. Except during one of his watching, spying sessions, he witnesses Delilah kill her abusive stepfather. His sweet, perfect Delilah isn't so perfect after all. But that's okay. Logan's not unrealistic. Everybody has flaws. And as long as Delilah understands that they're meant to be, everything will be okay. Everything will be totally and utterly perfect. And if she doesn't, well... Yesterday is History by Kosoko Jackson is an Own Voices novel that follows Andre Cobb, a gay Black teenager who has a liver transplant that also gives him the ability to time travel, which sets up a love triangle between Andre and Michael, a musician he connects with in the 1960s, and Blake, the brother of his liver donor. Which time and love will he choose? Castle School for Girls is from New York Times bestselling author Alyssa Scheinmel. This psychological contemporary is about a grieving teen shipped off to a boarding school for bad girls, and where she uncovers a sinister mystery. When Moira Dreyfus's parents announce that they're sending her to boarding school, Moira isn't fooled. She knows her parents are punishing her. She's been too much trouble since her best friend Nathan died, and for a while before that. At the castle school, isolated from the rest of the world, Moira will be expected to pour her heart out to the strange headmaster, Dr. Prince. But she isn't interested in getting over Nathan's death or befriending her fellow students. On her first night there, she hears music. On her second, she discovers the lock on her window is broken. On the third, she and her roommate venture outside and learn that they're not so isolated after all. There's another, very different castle school nearby, this one filled with boys whose parents sent them away too. And last, a new and updated edition of the best-selling nonfiction book on sexuality and gender from international best-selling author Juno Dawson. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, straight. This book is for everyone, regardless of gender or sexual preference. This candid, funny, and uncensored exploration of sexuality and what it's like to grow up LGBTQIA+ also includes real stories from people across the gender and sexual spectrums. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day, and please contact me with any questions.